Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and it's finally time for a follow-up to Arena, because it's been, I don't know, probably a month or so. I've played, 1 to 200 games on it or something like that. And as intended, I spent $0.00 on the game. And that was basically just an experiment to see if I could just use deck building skills and luck and the natural progression system of free packs to get anywhere. It turns out, yes. So, as is traditional apparently when reviewing software and games on both my channels, I'm just going to put the rating right up front. I'd still give it about, a 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8. The AI is top notch. The graphics are good enough without being distracting. The gameplay is fast. There are almost no glitches. I mean, it's a beta. Like, I'd almost call this good for a release product. I've had some games freeze up and some display issues and some oddities and stuff, but they've been lessening and lessening, and that's what a beta does. So from the get-go, my experience was, okay, this is limited. I want everything. I want to build whatever the hell I want. That's the way I'm used to playing Magic. This sucks. I think everybody has that impression. But as soon as you flip a switch in your brain and you're like, okay, let's play some low-powered Magic. Pre-releases are fun. Sealed is fun. Pauper's fun. Let's just build something out of the crap pile that they give you, which actually they give you quite a lot of decks and cards. And I do believe, because now I started before they changed the beta, so I think this is a little bit different now, but they give you a lot of packs and a lot of wild cards up front. So chances are you can build one deck you want. Just be really careful about what you redeem them for, because remember, the way you win more wild cards, which are obviously redeemable for any card you want if you're not familiar, the way you win them is by winning matches. The way you win matches is by having a good deck. So if you buy like 4 mythic planeswalkers with your 4 mythic wild cards or however many you get, and then that deck sucks and it was a bad idea, but I will say that right off the bat, I mean, the fact that I can just say, yeah, I'm just going to decide to go pick up this $50 card, a Teferi, a Karn, and a Johnny, that's like 20 right now. I could just trade it in. Boom, I've got a wild card. I do not have the spare money to do that in real life. So for all the negatives and the, oh man, I got to get a wild card just to get this stupid 50-cent bulk mythic, really? Guys, I think I burned one on Metallurgic Summonings, okay? I'm not thrilled either. Nor am I proud of it, but that deck absolutely kicks ass, so I'm kind of proud of it. But just the whole, I don't need money, I just need time and luck, there you go. And speaking of luck, every time I open a packet, I'm like, oh, that's a $20 card. I still get excited because then it's a powerful card. I like it. Even if it's not going in a deck, I can appreciate that I have it. I mean, it's like, yeah, I just pulled this. Awesome. So people were saying progression is too slow. We don't get enough free stuff. It takes forever to build even one deck. That was not true, but your second deck. So if people mean, okay, I screwed up, I built this, okay, now I want to build another deck. So your first real deck, like a week later, it will take forever to build if you don't already have the cards. So they did like 4 things to solve that. That's right. They listened to the customers and their feedback about, hey, this game is too expensive to play, and then did something about it. Forget Wizards of the Coast, mostly because I don't think it's their internal team writing this, but let's just compare that to any video game out there. That's pretty impressive. Do you think that the incompetent chimps behind Star Citizen would do that? No. Oh, it's too expensive to play GTA 5 online. Who cares? Not Rockstar. So yeah, that's nice. I mean, they, I guess, did away with the vault to do like a mini vault that's more modular, because it was just like a flood of, oh, have a buttload of wild cards all at once. And it was just painful to try to get to it, to open it. And then as soon as you open it, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, it's going to be another like week before I get to open it again, probably more. So the whole, oh, you just get an uncommon at 4 times the speed of a mythic and a rare in the middle or whatever it is. I still don't really know the math of it. The in-game doesn't say. I think every 6 packs you get a rare, then there's some weird mythic in there somewhere. And they also, I think, upped the coin reward. And then the best thing is you can win randomized entire decks. That's right, they'll give you a deck. So I believe if you win, I don't even have these numbers, are going to change it anyway, but I was going to give examples, but we'll just say I think you can get about 2 to 2.5 packs a day, which is pretty good. And on a good day, if you win some tournaments and stuff, you can open like 4 or 5, get some free decks thrown in, and you'd be surprised what's in those free decks too. I mean, there's some like high-end mythics. It still absolutely burns me that the number one card that I need for almost every deck, well, every deck that's not mono, is the rare dual lands, if not, 8 of them instead of 4 of them. It burns up your rares so quick, I mean, you'll probably have mythics sitting around without rares. But to be fair, that's what's wrong with Paper Magic too, the damn dual color rare lands. Those dual color lands should never be printed at rare. Never. They should always be uncommon. It's the number one financial barrier to anybody playing Magic or people building more than one deck. Yes, it would just kill the value of the set, but not really, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. So that sucks, but like the progression, every day, every game, you feel like you're doing something. They have the you can play for fun but reduce rewards thing. You can win, I think, up to it would be 15 matches in a day before they just cut you off and they're just like, oh, you're playing for fun now. And then they have the weekly 15 wins, which is pretty sweet. You get individual cards like almost no matter what. I mean, you win like every 2 games or something, you get just a free individual card. And once in a while, it's pretty damn good. And the tournaments, I mean, you're going to get like 2 or 3 individual cards at least, plus I think bare minimum 100 coins back or something like that. So 10 out of 10, right? I mean, there's virtually nothing wrong with it. It's the ideal way to play Magic online. I mean, I wish that I could just build 15 decks, any deck I wanted, but if I wanted to do that, I'd just go on X-Mage. I mean, I can't even afford to do that in real life. Like, that's Magic. You can't have everything you want, and you can't build 15 decks just because you feel like it. If I just wanted to play the game and test decks and do a variety of stuff and whatever, like I said, I'd jump over to X-Mage. But I've been preferring Arena. I haven't even touched X-Mage lately, and that's because I have 8 decks that are hyper powerful. That's right, 8 of them while spending $0.00. And it's not like I was counting, but I think I've been playing for about a month. So it's a pretty generous system. I mean, unless you're like, I want every good M19 card one day after release, that you're going to have a problem with. But if you're just like, nah, I've got fully functional decks. Yeah, I've got new deck ideas that involve M19 or the meta shifted or whatever. But it is what it is, upgraded over time. Like the day that a Johnny came out, I wanted it, and I only had 1 wild card, so I got 1. I mean, then I threw him in the deck. Cool, he was in the deck. I saw him occasionally, and now I'm up to 3 of him. I mean, it's just like Jaya Ballard. She's in one of my decks. It is what it is. I mean, you got to wait for more of her. It's not like the deck is completely pathetic and incapable of winning until you get it. Now, some deck ideas are, so do keep that in mind. My Torment of Hailfire, Torment of Scarabs deck, you need basically, from what I remember, 8 wild cards to unlock that. Maybe 6. Oh, and then Battle at the Bridge is in that deck too, so up it by 4 more. I mean, I don't think I got any of those for free. If anything, I got 1 or 2. So the fact that some deck ideas you're going to be like, oh cool, I have 80% of the cards I need already, and the other one's like, oh my god, I'm 12 wild cards out from this. That is really aggravating, because why should it be that way? But the fact that even I can't think of a logical, simple, fair solution means, oh well, it is what it is, So how did the game manage to go from a 10 out of 10 to a, whatever I just said, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7.5, split the difference? It lost 1 full point temporarily, because they might institute a fix for this, because of slow players, people stalling out the game, people slow playing on purpose. They let the little fuse timer go down to 90% every single time and then take an action. They just think you'll be like, this isn't worth it, I'm giving up, and then they get a free win as quickly as possible, which ironically, it's not as quickly as possible. They're wasting their own time too. 1 simple fix, it would be 1 subroutine in the code. Well, actually 2, because you'd have to implement it on the UI. But if you get disconnected due to a timeout, you get a 15-minute ban. Not even like stacking, no, 3 occurrences and blah, blah, blah. What if you have to get up? What if your kid's crying? What if something happened? What if your pizza's on fire? I'm not saying you should penalize people. It's just if your pizza's on fire, you're probably not going to come back and want to play within 15 minutes. So yeah, if they want to waste everybody's time, you waste 15 minutes of their time. And it's not like, oh, they're banned for a day, or they're banned for an hour, where they're just like, oh, fine, I'll just give up, whatever. It's just like enough to send them a message. Nobody's going to sit there and watch it tick down for 15 minutes. They're going to go check their Facebook or something, come back and be like, okay, that was counterproductive. I probably shouldn't do that. They need a penalty for that. And I mean, maybe they have one and I just haven't heard about it, but I asked around and people said they don't. So where did the other point losses come from? Entirely what I'll call the tournament system. Instead of just free play, there's my favorite, which is quick constructed. You play single matches instead of 2 out of 3, which is way faster and I love it. Although, you guys know I'm the king of the sideboard design. And I'm quite good at sideboard decisions, and I know in the meta what beats what. So I would have a higher win chance. It's just I only got so many hours in the day. You know what I mean? But anyway, 500 coins to enter, which is great. You could get easily 2,000 coins a day, easily. And, you know, if you lose 3 times, you're out. So just 3 strikes, you're out. And then you can win up to 7 times. And the other day, I actually swept 7, then 7. I had 3 combined losses. It was 1 and then 2 in the next sweep. But it doesn't always go that way. And I don't mean to imply it's just luck. Oh, I got lucky. I got matched up against some opponents where I have a natural advantage. Oh, no. No, 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 no. In my opinion, and within my statistical analysis, everything is rigged. Everything. Your deck color or the prominent cards in it determine who you go up against. That's first and foremost. When I play my black or my blue decks, I go up against completely different people in the tournaments than when I use my white, green, or red, black, or mono black. Oh, no, I just said black. Whatever. It's just the color matches me up against different people. We're talking like I played Red Rush 3 times in a row with my white life gain deck, and then I switched to black, and all of a sudden everybody's playing mill. It's very suspicious. And then on top of that, before the last major patch, the tournaments were just outright rigged. They were just, if you start winning, they're going to put you up against nothing but gold opponents, top tier gold, because they do not want you to get free coins. Free coins mean you don't spend money on crystals. And if you build decks like mine, I could just sit there all day and rack up 10,000 coins in a day. I mean, I would just 7-0 every damn time. Or bare minimum, I get 600 out of my 500 entry, and then I keep getting free cards too. They don't want people with top tier powerful decks just sweeping over and over and over and over and over. I get it. But then just say, limit the coins that you can gain per day. Don't just silently rig it in the background, because people like me figured it out on like day 3. I'm like, this is just suspicious. But now post update, it seems they've rigged it in the opposite direction. If you lose the first match, and certainly if you lose the second one, your third opponent in a tournament like this will be like some bronze person who just joined. They're like tier, 5 bronze? I don't know. Their symbol isn't lit up, whatever the hell that means. And they will be playing like an unmodified starter deck. It's like they are just pitching you underhanded softball throws. I felt bad. I crushed this guy on turn 4, I think. It wasn't even fair. I did a Shauna appeal combo with like double servo drop and just nuked him, just obliterated him. 2 appeals will do that. But then it seems like they're like, well, if he's playing this color combination, then in general, this deck color, you know, I would say deck type, but I don't think the AI is good enough to be like, I've analyzed this and this is a token rush deck. I mean, it's not impossible, but I think it's just, oh, all of our statistics say that if you're playing mono white, you'll probably lose to this color. If you're playing mono red, you'll lose to black. I mean, that's true. Black blue especially. Maybe they just know the speed of the decks and they use that, but either way, your opponent is rigged. Their skill level and ranking is definitely rigged. I mean, that's unequivocal. Once again, my opinion and only my observations. I don't have any solid proof or an admission by Wizards that they do this. But I mean, come on, you guys play it. You know what I'm talking about. So when I got those 7 wins, everything past win number 2 was just all gold. It's just, you know, unfortunately for them, I'm running a gold tier deck. But after you break even, okay, once you've hit the I'm winning 500 coins, which is great because I, you know, paid 500 to enter the tournament, they will start to rig your opening hand. They will just outright rig the match. This has happened way too many times to be considered bad luck. Way too many. I mean, I already have a 85-90% win rate in free play, and then as soon as I go into a tournament, I just seem to be facing harder people. Okay, I would expect that. That makes sense. It's the equivalent of a ranked game, I guess you would say, you know, because there's prizes on the line, so better people would be doing that, I guess. Or they would just throw me, you know, better opponents so I don't just cruise through. But I've noticed that when I get to game 5, 6, and 7, I mulligan to 5 so stupidly often, it is just blatantly obvious that they're rigging it. So instead of just, starting him with, you know, 3 lands, because we'll go 3 lands and then 4 non-lands, we'll just take those out and redraw them. I don't think that's what they do. I wouldn't put it past them because that seems to be what's happening. I mean, I've had 0 landers, but the developers have openly admitted on the forums, everybody knows that they do this. They have this thing called an assistive draw or assistive start, assisted starting hand, something like that. I haven't seen the post, but I heard somebody basically copy and paste it, so I'm taking their word for it, so this might not be correct, but it seems to be. I mean, you compare, I played 1,000 games on X-Mage easily and a couple hundred on this, I can tell the difference. They draw 2 potential opening hands, the system does in the background, and then based on either solely the lands or the lands compared to the casting cost, they select what they see to be the best one, or they will eliminate one that's completely not going to work, like a 0-lander or 1-lander. I mean, nobody would keep those under almost any circumstance. And they just eliminate it, and then they either go with, like I said, the better one in all cases, or if they don't need to eliminate either or, they flip a coin 50-50 and it's random. I know this is highly controversial, but I completely support that system. Lands are the worst thing to happen to Magic ever. They're a design flaw, and there's a reason almost no other game uses lands. Or, pardon me, in the deck. Make them a card in the deck and make you rely on them. Ooh, it adds variance. Yeah, wonderful, because variance is so much fun when you get 2 lands for the whole entire game and lose because of it, and you don't even get to play your deck. Yeah, I love variance. It makes the game so much more fun. It scrambles the outcome, but I don't play to win. I play to have fun, and I play my damn deck. So the fact that they're silently and invisibly getting rid of 1-landers in the background, wonderful. I think they turn that off when you get to 5 wins. It would really appear so, because it's not just like every single time, every game, every round, I'm, mulling to 5 or getting 1-landers or whatever. But it's happening way more. I would say 3 to 4 to 5 times more often. I mean, you guys play Arena, maybe. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. How often do you see an unacceptable number of lands in your opening hand? It's unnaturally low until you win too much at the tournament. So it's either rigged or they turn off the assistance. I would have a little bit less of a problem with this, a little tiny bit less, if they came right out and told us. If there was a thing that says, hey, if you go past this point in the tournament, we're turning off the assistive start, so just be aware of that. Because honestly, it'll change the way I play now that I know that. And honestly, it changes how many tournaments I enter. So it's a dick move. I mean, they're just like, they are misrepresenting it. They're making it look like if you win, and these games are going to be the same as any other games, there's no reason to think otherwise, they're going to operate the same, and the matchmaking is going to be the same, and then it turns out all 3 of those are not true. So it's like, oh, all you have to do is win 7, and you win 1,000 coins. And then you go into free play, and you win 7 in a row in your sleep. It's misleading. It's like a scam. It's utterly ridiculous. So they either need to do something about that, or at least admit that they're doing it. And maybe I'm wrong, and it just seems to, be in my memory more often when I'm already winning. Maybe the assistive start is turned off for all ranked tournaments. I don't know. There's nothing in the UI to tell me, and I'm not going to sit there and crawl along the forums and look at all the beta change logs and all this bullshit. If they want to tell me something about the game operating different, they better not make me go to some third-party site to go read it somewhere. I'm in the game. Go tell me in the game. It's just like I hate games where you gotta go look up like item stats and drop rates and maps and stuff on some, wiki page. I'm gonna do it anyway. I've got dual monitors. Just put it in the damn game. You hear that, Niantic? In Pokemon Go, just show me what the damn IVs are. I'm gonna look them up anyway. So the rig tournaments just ruin everything. They absolutely ruin it. And that's I'd say the best way to win coins. Apparently it's not, it's rigged, but mathematically it is still the quickest way, I guess, to potentially, maybe if you're really lucky or talented, get coins. But overall, I'm progressing at a reasonable rate, even with the thing being rigged, so I don't know, maybe rigging it is a good thing. It's just, I don't like playing rigged games. I want everything to rely on my luck, my deck building skills, and my in-game decisions. That's it. So that really, I'm going to say it loses another 2 points. It's a solid 7 out of 10, which is not bad, but boy, they went from perfect to practically ruined from that one little thing. And I will say, I've never really felt terrifically pressured to be like, you know what, I'm just going to drop $50 on the game and then I'll have all these cards and whatever. I'm not a patient person, and I'm used to just buying singles and building whatever the hell I want. Duh, I'm an X-Mage player. But I also like, fun, creative, interesting deck builds, being forced to do something different than I normally would. It's not just a stupid net deck-a-thon. It's not just the same bullshit you see at F&M, where it's like, oh, you play one of the top-tier decks or you lose. No, sometimes you see some creative stuff. People run in modified starters. There's a high variety. And let me just say, after the patch, oh my god, they started giving away whole new deck archetypes instead of everybody starting with, I think, the same 5 it was, or 10 maybe. Everybody was playing those decks, and then if they weren't, and they, basically bought their way or won their way to some wild cards, they were playing with a tier 1 deck. So you kept playing the same decks over and over and over and over and over, and that was single-handedly ruining Arena. I don't care if the games were rigged or not. I was sick to my ass of playing against blue-white control, blue-black scarab god controlled zombie bullshit, and what else? Oh yeah, Red Rush. Literally 50% of people on Arena were running Red Rush. Every other game was Red Rush. I hate that stupid toxic deck. And those arrogant assholes running that deck were so adamant about, oh yeah, this deck's perfect, I'm gonna keep running it. Every game from now on, I'm gonna run it. If you cast like 2 control spells and just knock out their stuff and now they're not gonna win in 7 turns, they just forfeit. It was so aggravating, so pointless, not fun at all. Deck variety was a huge problem. So now when they give people randomized entire decks, you could be like, oh, you know, blue artificer equipment boost, equipment synergy, or black improvise, hey, or, you know, red green dinosaurs. Okay, they gave me the deck. I got 50% of the cards I need. I might look into that. I might work on that. You know, that's kind of a fun deck. That looks like it'll be fun for the meta right now. And it seems like enough people did that. They just got sick of playing the same stupid deck, you know, 100 times in a row. And now they have the option to play something because they could get sick of it. And it doesn't really matter if they don't have an option. They don't have enough wild cards to build another deck, so they're stuck with it. So giving people more rewards quicker is actually making the game better for everybody because it ups the number of decks that people can build in a reasonable amount of time. And the giving away of entire decks, it really helps the variety. So that was brilliant. I mean, absolutely genius level brilliant if they did it on purpose. Little bit of an if there. Guys, it might have just been people whining about progression. Progression is slow. Okay, let's speed it up and see what happens. And then basically this was an unintended side effect. I don't know. But what I do know is overall, I enjoy playing it. It's getting better and better and better. It's almost at the point where I would say they could release it. But I think we all know that, you know, yeah, there's a couple more bugs, couple more balancing features, things, you know, redemptions, whatever. Oh, and they just added Planeswalker skins so you could have your own custom avatar. Oh, and they leaked like 8 months ago that if you go to like a pre-release, you go to a PPTQ, you go to a GP, you go to some kind of con, they'll give you like a unique redemption thing, and you'll be able to get like you know, maybe new card sleeves. That'd be cool. They haven't added card sleeves yet, by the way, but you might get like a custom avatar of like the coolest planeswalker or some kind of really old legacy planeswalker that's not even in standard, but you can only get it if you know, get one of the code cards to give away promos at a pre-release. They already said they're doing that. They confirmed that. And in New Zealand, I heard they're doing like card for card, pack for pack, you know, straight up Pokemon style. That I don't think they should do. I mean, it would let people progress really quickly if they normally buy a lot of paper, and you might have just everybody resorting to tier 1 decks and that's it. But it would be nice and it would drive sales, and people who normally want to just play digital would be like, well, I might as well get a 2-for-1 on it, and they'll just buy the paper one too. You know, they'll walk into a store, they've never been there in their life, and they'll be like, can I get, you know, 12 packs or something? And then they go keep them, maybe sell them on eBay, flood the market, play with their friends casually, build the deck, go to F&M eventually, and then also continue to play on Arena. That would be kind of cool. I just feel like, I mean, those code cards are just going to hit eBay and it's not going to work that way anyway, which is also how Pokemon does it. Or I should say that's what happens to Pokemon. You can buy them cards in bulk for like 33 cents or something. But the whole, oh, we're going to give you a custom reward, or maybe we'll give you like 3 free tournament entries, or we'll give you, you know, 3,000 coins for showing up to a pre-release or like a special event or open house or whatever. You know, ignoring the brilliance of the cross promotion there in the marketing level, that's just great because I would get rewarded for stuff I'm already doing, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So, I mean, it's only going to continue to get better. They've shown that they're not just going to ignore complaints and just be like, but that's the way it is, we got to make money, screw you, if you don't like it, don't play it. You know, they don't have that typical Wizards attitude where they refuse to fix anything, like curling foils, curling paper, print errors, you know, their staff being idiots on social media. It looks good. The outlook looks good. The team looks good. And I like it. I'm hopeful for the future, and I think it's a wonderful product. And my first impression was, oh, you're killing duels to replace it with a more expensive one, and you got to not trade? That's stupid. And now that I see it, I'm like, no, this works. This is fun. It's enjoyable. I like it. It's dynamic. It's interesting. Oh, and the AI in the thing is amazing. They've improved the automatic decisions just to save time, and it's like they cut the game time in half. It is absolutely amazing and astonishingly good. Like, even individual specific card interactions, they will take an automatic action if they're 100% sure that there's only one valid target, you know, or something like that. God, they will never tap Shafet Dunes for colorless, but I get the logic behind that. But other than that, if you can remember these couple little quirky things and don't get too used to it doing stuff for you, it's overall a good thing. So anyway, they're never going to launch this out of beta and for full release until the standard rotation. I guarantee it, because why would they? People get all these cards that they're like, ooh, the big launch, yay, they have 10 times the players, or even 100 times the players or whatever. People are making purchases, building decks, and then like what, a couple weeks later, whoops, you just lost, you know, what, 33% of your cards or however many are cycling? I don't know, 25%. That would be really bad. So I think they're going to release Guilds of Ravnica, wait a little bit, and then launch this. Or maybe even like after Guilds of Ravnica, maybe. I mean, they got a working product. They're working the kinks out pretty damn quick, and it's pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty damn close to launch, and there's no reason to wait to make a lot of money. But the one thing I'm curious about to put this in closing is what are they going to do when your cards cycle out? All your decks are just lost. I mean, if anybody had a time and a reason to quit Arena, it would be when all of your decks get invalidated. But you could say that about any Magic Standard, you know, play, paper or anything. MTGO, duels, everything. I have a feeling that for every card in your library that they destroyed, like every 30, maybe they'll give you a wild card. So basically they'll just be like, oh, you had a giant card collection, you open a bunch of packs, here, have a buttload of wild cards. And oh, what a coincidence, it would be right when Guilds of Ravnica comes out. That's convenient. If they're just like, no, so long, you wasted your money, they're all gone, good luck, you want some new cards, buy some, we're not giving you anything. I feel like that wouldn't go over so well. That might be some bad PR for them. They might get a bit of backlash. Literally every single deck I'm running is like Kaladesh heavy, so yeah. I'm going to need some assistance when that cycles out. So let me know what you guys think. What was your experience? Anything I left out in this review? I'm sure I did. I mean, I made it as extensive as possible. I want this to be like the end-all, super detailed, everything you ever wanted to know about Arena. But any other comments or your take on it or anything else going on, problems with it, let me know down in the comment section. Let everybody know, and thanks for watching. Oh, and I just made a new playlist on my channel. It's called something like Dank Meme Playlist or Meme Remix Playlist or Edits or something like that. Look for it. It's got all of the like YouTube poop style and like epic remix stuff, and then of course the official Magic the Gathering movie trailer, which is absolutely not that, and it's a parody. But I've been told a lot of people appreciate my stupid brand of humor that I put into it, so go watch that too. It's on the playlist. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.